Shalom. Call Halal, Yahawah, Shamawishi, by Sham, Qadash. Double honors unto the apostles, double honors unto the elder bishops. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. To the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners. And to the Aquaf that are listening and learning, to you I say shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, coming at you with another lesson in truth. And this is just going to be a quick lesson. I'm out here in my favorite spot by my favorite tree. It's kind of dead out here today. Groundskeeper once again is doing a great job with the best he can. You still got them weird colors, them lime green colors. He and I talked about that yellow. If you look down there in the distance, they shouldn't be that. Those colors aren't even natural. And usually when they start to fade like that, it's right before they die. He and I both have been talking about it. The guy who does his work is a Jake, you know. And yeah, we've talked about, you know, these the trees, because as a matter of fact, there's trees to the right of me, a whole line of it. 6 of them they cut down. I guess they were so bad, he just cut them down, or has them cut down. But nevertheless, you know, the scriptures does say he shall destroy those who shall destroy the earth. But basically, this video is going to be a quick lesson about both the northern and the southern kingdom. All right, and some of the devastations and things that have been done to both. All right, so I'm going to open with a scripture. All right, and that first scripture is going to be Jeremiah 50 and 33. And it reads, "Thus saith Yahawah of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captive held them fast. They refused to let them go." So, you know, what you're going to find out when you start doing your research and study and learning history is that the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American all have a common foe, a common oppressor. They're all being oppressed by the same people. And the people that are leading that is Esau Edom. You know, they're the main culprit behind that. And Esau Edom, for anyone who might be new, is the people on the earth today which refer to themselves as white. All right. So without any further ado, I'm gonna play a couple quick TikTok videos.
I just signed into law the Emmett Till Anti-Lynching Act.
Well,
making lynching a federal hate crime.
Think about this. During all the long years of Jim Crow terror after the Civil War, when thousands of black people were lynched, often in a picnic atmosphere, and mobs of white people came to cheer these on and take home souvenir body parts, and postcards were made of these lynchings.
You know what? I think we're going to do this differently. Let me go ahead and turn on my speaker. We're going to start that again.
Terrorizing this country. Now they want to pass a bill against lynching.
Is not a relic of the past.
So let's start that again.
I just signed into law the Emmett Till Anti-Lynching Act, making lynching a federal hate crime.
Think about this. During all the long years of Jim Crow terror after the Civil War, when thousands of black people were lynched, often in a picnic atmosphere, and mobs of white people came to cheer these on and take home souvenir body parts, and postcards were made of these lynchings, the government repeatedly refused to pass a bill against lynching. But now that police terror has replaced lynching as the main way that black people are terrorized in this country, now they want to pass a bill against lynching.
Lynching is not a relic of the past. Racial acts of terror still occur in our nation.
Yeah, 1,000 people killed by police every single year, disproportionately black, Latino, and Native American. It's a fact.
Now, you heard that. Black, Latino, and Native American. All right? Why? Because they are the Israelites. I was searching for a scripture, Salakia. I was trying to find that scripture, which I can't think of it. You know what? Someone could just put it on the comment board, Baba Kashab. But I was looking for that scripture that says, "Thy own tongue it condemneth thee." All right, his own tongue.
Since the 1960s, more black people have been killed by police than all those who were lynched during the whole time of Jim Crow segregation and KKK terror.
We must
Now that's insane. All right, that many people have been, that many Jakes have been killed. More were killed by the police than they were by lynching, and so they say, because that went into the thousands upon thousands. I think and I had a book at home. I believe it said something about 60 to 80,000, somewhere around that number, and those are just the ones that they recorded, because there were lots of them. And then those were mainly talking about just Negroes. We're not going to, because there was a lot of hangings of so-called Mexicans and Native Americans, and even some cases Irish and Italians who were not considered white until a much latter time.
have the courage to name them.
Eric Garner, Oscar Grant, Breonna Taylor, Philando Castile, Freddie Gray, Adam Toledo. I could go on.
And hold the perpetrators to account.
The answer is not to defund the police. It's to fund the police. Fund them. Fund them.
So you can't get any justice from people, because in these images, these are old images.
I just
you hear that?
law.
So you see that? So the image must not be reformed; it must be overthrown. And Yahawashi is going to overthrow this current wicked system that we're all being oppressed by. Here's another video. I don't know if it's going to pick up, but it's showing you some very sexualized, porno-type pictures of Pocahontas. All right, so we're going to let a Gadite sister speak about the blasphemy of this. All right, and then they're also selling T-shirts that say "Bury the Catholic Church in unmarked graves," which I love. I actually think I'm going to buy one of those and start wearing them. Buy a couple of them in different colors and wear them because the Catholic Church has been a big part of white superiority and the power structure, the oppressive, unrighteous structure of Esau. It played a big role in our oppression. All right, but let's let her speak.
Native TikTok. So take a look at this.
Let's see if
we found this on Etsy, and I
you can't really see it out here.
Pocahontas was one of our first well-documented MMIW cases, and she was a young child. She was kidnapped, sex trafficked. She eventually lost her life. And yet Etsy is allowing her to be sexualized, which is fuel.
Etsy is a platform for buying and selling. We're buying goods online. It often pops up when you're watching YouTube and different, TikTok or different social media platforms. All right, and so she's talking about the sex trafficking of Pocahontas. So let me go a little bit into the story and I'll let her finish speaking. What happened to Pocahontas was they romanticized. They tried to make the so-called white man look like he's a good guy, and they always do. Like she had this love affair with John Smith. When John Smith kidnapped her, murdered her husband because she was young. She actually had a husband. She was like 13, 14 years old, and that was normal among the tribes, among our people. That was normal in biblical times. Most girls were married at 13, 14. That was a very common thing. Even not that long ago, even just going back 100 years ago. All right. But she was young, and she also had a child. She had a son, and Pocahontas was captured. She was raped and forced to be with John Smith. Her husband was put to death, and her son was as well. And he took her overseas, impregnated her with his own child, and then she died very young. I don't even think she made it to 20 years old. All right, so that's the true story of Pocahontas, and yet, they made millions off the Disney cartoon. and all that is to romanticize the so-called white man, which a lot of Northern Kingdom women do. They fell for the dreamy blonde-haired, blue-eyed devil, which is really what John Smith was, and everyone like him. All right, but let's go
to our MMIW crisis. So again, this is on Etsy. Now, at the same time, we were forced to remove our Bury the Catholic Church and Unmarked Graves t-shirts from Etsy because the church is supposedly a protected organization. So we did receive, I don't know, over 5,000 hate messages from churches and their supporters.
Now, the church has committed more crimes against humanity. I mean, not only against the tribes, but against children. Even up until this very time. It's like almost every other couple of months, there's a new case or group of cases of grievances being filed against the Catholic Church. So anyone that's still supporting or going to the Catholic Church is just stupid, you know, and wicked, and they'll be destroyed right along with that church, which is a house of Satan and full of idolatry anyway.
Threats and threats of legal action. We need everyone to contact Etsy and get that sculpture removed. We also put our bury the churches and over 5,000 hate messages. The church is supposedly we were forced to remove our bury the Catholic Church and Unmarked Graves t-shirts from Etsy because the church is supposedly a protected organization. So we did receive, I don't know, over 5,000 hate messages from churches.
There it is. So I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, bury the Catholic Church and Unmarked Graves. I love it. I fucking love it. So yeah, I want to get a couple of those because they had one in orange with black lettering too. All right. Hey, that should go hard right there, and that's the truth.
And their supporters with threats and threats of legal action. So
let's change it up a little bit. Now I got another video with the same Gadite sister speaking. Here it goes.
So in 2016, the government made the bison or the buffalo the national mammal of the United States. Originally,
and the Gadite on her shirt too looks very Negroidish. All right, it's the image of the Gadite chief on her shirt.
They tried to exterminate our buffalo. So they ran ads for the newspaper saying, kill every buffalo you can. Every buffalo dead is an Indian gone. And
so let me pause it and let you see that. Kill every buffalo you can. Every buffalo dead is an Indian gone. All right. And that, for you who have never seen that is a mountain of buffalo skulls. All right. And I remember watching a movie where there was a herd of hundreds of buffalo, and a train was going through on the range, and it just stopped, and all the doors opened, and all the Edomite men, all the white men with their rifles just began firing on them and killing them. And it was just a horrific scene, because these people truly are wicked. All right, here we go.
You see right here, this is a massive pile of buffalo bones. They killed over 1 million. And the government also paid the U.S. Cavalry.
Let me show you. They paid them $1, and $1 went a long way back then. And there's the actual dollar, which had the saying on it. All right. 1 dead buffalo, 1 dead Indian. All right. $1, 1876. And $1 was redeemable by gold or silver in that time. And $1 had way more value. All right. But yeah, I didn't want to make this too long. I'm just gonna grab one more scripture and wrap this up. You know, because the tribes are awakened. Even you got a lot of Gadites now that prescribe to their Israelite heritage. So it's pretty much it's a wrap for Esau, Edom. But I'm just gonna read the prophecy about Gad in Genesis the 49th chapter. I think it's 49 and 19. And it reads, Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. Yeah, so vengeance is coming. So with that, I want to give all praises, all honor, and glory unto Yahawah, by Hashem Yahawashi, by Hashem Qadash, Wa Abba Babal, Kwam Yasharala, Shalom.